All right, today we're digging into a really interesting and powerfully simple model for success at work. It argues that building a truly excellent workplace doesn't start with some complex strategy, but with one single foundational element.
So let's jump right in. I mean, think about it. Companies pour billions of dollars into trying to answer this exact question. New strategies, new tech, endless training programs. But what if the key isn't any of those things? What if the real answer is something much more fundamental?
Okay, so let's start with part one, the key to success. According to the source material we're looking at, this is the bedrock. This is the single element that everything else, and I mean everything, gets built on.
And there you have it. Simple, direct, and pretty powerful, right? The idea here is that before any plan or strategy has a chance to work, you absolutely have to get this one thing right. And what's really fascinating here is the focus. It doesn't say attitude is one of the keys, it says it is the key. So what do we actually mean by attitude? Well, the source isn't just talking about, being positive. Instead, it defines attitude by its outcome. The right attitude is the specific mindset and behavior that directly paves the way for the organization to succeed. It's a functional, results-oriented thing that you can actually see in the numbers, like productivity, innovation, and whether or not people stick around. So if attitude is the essential what, the next big question is how? How does this critical element actually come to life in a company? Well, that brings us right to section 2, the role of leadership, and they're framed here as the cultivators of culture.
The model lays out a really clear top-down approach. It all starts with the leaders. Then it's their job to cultivate the right attitude throughout the entire team. And that word cultivate is so crucial. It's not about demanding it or putting it in a memo. It's about actively nurturing it, protecting it through consistent communication, recognizing people, and most importantly, living it themselves.
And this is where it gets really interesting. This is where the model connects that soft skill of attitude to a hard-line business outcome. Because this whole act of cultivation, it isn't just about making the office a nice place to be. It's the direct path to building a strategy that can actually last.
And here is that crucial link. When leaders are intentional about nurturing the right attitude, the direct result is a sustainable plan. The culture isn't just a side effect of the strategy, it's the very thing that makes the strategy possible in the first place. A team with that kind of cultivated attitude is just going to be more resilient, more innovative, and way more committed to seeing a long-term plan through to the end.
This brings us to our final section, the sustainable outcome. So we've seen the foundation, and we've seen the cultivators. Now let's look at the final structure they're actually building, what the source calls the architecture of excellence.
And this just lays out the entire model perfectly in one spot. Let's walk through it. The core element is the right attitude. Its role is to be the foundation, and that leads to the overall outcome of organizational success. Then you've got leadership. Their role is to be the cultivator, which leads to the strategic outcome of a sustainable plan. It's just a clean, logical, and really powerful chain of cause and effect.
So we end with this question, because it's really the core takeaway. This model gives you a blueprint to look at any organization. Is the foundation, the attitude, being actively cultivated by leadership to create a sustainable plan? Or are there cracks starting to appear because that fundamental work just isn't being done? It's a simple way to look at things, but a very, very revealing one.